One will be dead after 3 months. Half the student population will finish in 3 months. So the men, they make, there's room for 2 people, So somehow 2 guys can somehow get along, but 2 women forget it. Some rare exceptions are there. Your friend there. But that's only because they're both nutty, so nutty people can live together. Ordinary people can. But the gopis are very cooperative, very friendly. They're Sakhis. What does Sakhi means? There's called Sakhis, called gopis, kinkaris, manjaris. They're all Sakhis, means female friends. Right, Shiji. She's a G, I'm a G. I'm not G, she's Shiji. Okay. So, Sakhi means friend, and real friends are not envious of each other. They're supportive, they're helpful, they're loving, they're kind, they're sharing, they're giving. This is a nice point that was made here. That I'm there as Tulsi Manjari or Navadasi or whoever, and I'm seeing another Manjari comes very quickly, she runs up and very happily. She's very happy to serve Radharani, and very quickly, she doesn't take my time. Lay under this tree, some mangoes for a while, lay under this tree. So she runs to the Kunja to her seva. Well, she collected a bunch of peacock feathers, a bunch of gunja berries, and a bunch of flowers, and ran to the Kunja to us again. Because I know that Radha and Krishna are going to have a Leela, and Krishna is going to want to experience Prem Vilasi heart, so I had to help with that. So Tulsi Manjari is seeing, look at this, Manjari is coming so happily and swiftly, bringing various blooming flowers. Just like sometimes some devotees come to this ashram and do seva. What's happened? Mouse got in your hair or something? Oh, danger. Watch out. Your hair must smell like flowers. All the bumblebees want that in your hair. Flower child. Okay, exciting. So she collects all these things and she comes here to help Krishna decorate Radharani's hair braid. So that's just a repeat of yesterday's verse. So we have a new verse, 78. Madhava Madana Keli Vibrame Mataya Sarasijena Bhavataya Taditam Sumukhi Viksha Kim Triyam Guda Hasya Vadna Bhavishati Taditam. So what happens what's the Leela of this verse? Krishna's getting beaten. Good Leela. Radharani is beating up Krishna. This is good. Women's live, right? Oh, Samukhi, beautiful Radharani. When will I secretly smile when I see you proudly and in excitement beating your lover, Krishna, with a plate lotus, Leela Kamal during love sports. Boom. Oh. That's a heavy beating. Imagine you get beaten by a flower. You have to file a complaint with the police department. Hello, 911, yeah. My husband's beating me. What's he beating with? A steel rod, a baseball bat, cricket bat? No, a lotus flower. Shut up. What kind of complaint is this? Crackpot complaint. My husband's beating me with a lotus flower. You're a lucky girl. Where does he buy those lotus flowers? So this is a beautiful Leela to meditate on. Radharani, she's not just beating him, but she's beating him with pride. If you're going to beat somebody, you should beat him with pride. I'm proud of beating you. I'm not shy about being, I'm not feeling humble, I'm not feeling bad, but I'm proud, I'm feeling proudly beating you. And there's many kinds of ways to beat up somebody. You can beat up somebody with anger, you can beat up somebody with revenge, but beating somebody with pride is like, hey man, Muhammad Ali, I'm the greatest, boom, 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 you know, knock out everybody. So Radharani is proudly beating Krishna. And with great excitement. So there's some Leela described. Das Goswami, absorbed in his Manjari's troop as a Kinkari dasi of Radharani, perceives a new pastime. Sham is decorating Radharani's hair, sitting behind her decorating Radharani's hair. And Radharani is very happy with Sham's expert arrangement of her hair. And what is Krishna's name? His hairdresser name. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava. Krishna Keshava means the hairdresser. Some people say it means Keshi Demon Vadan. Vadan means to kill. So Keshva, Kesh means long hair. Because horses have long hair. Yeah? Long tail, long neck thing, all this stuff. You know. Some have really long hair. So Keshi means the long-haired demon. the horse, you call it's called horse. The horse, Sanskrit word for horse is not Keshi. What is it?
Ashwa.
Ashwa. Ashwa. There's no horse around. So Keshava means, Keshavada means one who kills Keshi, but Kesha also means one who's Radharani's hairdresser. So when you see the name Kesha, what do you think? Oh, Kesha, that guy, he's Radharani's hairdresser. That's what you should think. You know, Lord Chaitanya, when he was singing in South India, what was he singing? First of all, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu toured South India, yeah? You go like this, yeah? For 6 years. And he had his favorite bhajan he sang. So what kind of bhav was Lord Chaitanya in? Was he in Bhagavat bhav or Bhagavati bhav? Well, I'm in Bhagavati bhav, you know. Can't help it. She's right there. Right there. So what is the bhav of Lord Chaitanya in South Dakshin Bharat tour? Hello? You understand my broken, crappy English? What was the bhav of Lord Chaitanya while he's dancing through South India? Radha Bhav, Jai Jai Sri Radhe. So what is the favorite name of Radharani? Krishna. To be exact. Oh, a Italian twist there. Krishna. Well, you know what I mean. So Lord Chaitanya, absorbed in Radharani's Mahabhav, was saying, Krishna, Krishna, Keshava. Because he didn't have any hair, he wanted to get hair done. No, but he was absorbed in Radha and remembering Krishna, hairdresser. So that's what's being told here, that he's being called Madan, and he's being beat up by Radharani, by the lotus flower. So there's more Leela described here. Radharani says to Krishna, how beautifully you have dressed my hair. And Radharani's thinking, how can I reward Krishna? So, the pastimes develop in such a way that Swami has to beat Krishna with her lotus flower like a teacher striking her pupil who made some mistake. That's why I have this rod here. But people say, what's this thing for? You want to find out? It's the whole book of it. But sometimes it has dual function. But there's two sides to this rod. One is iron, one has got a cushion. This side's for men, this side's for women. A lady made this, so she made this side all iron, but this side got a cushion on it. So I did women, not so hard. Is that what the idea was? So, Raghunatha says, Radharani is certainly a school teacher. Who can say how many ways that Radharani teaches? So now the next point here, Leela goes on a little bit here on the other side. When Tulsi Manjari sees Swamini, that means Radharani, beating Krishna with her Leela Kamal, clay lotus, the Manjari giggles. So, covering her mouth with her veil. And the other Manjaris also giggle and laugh along with Tulsi Manjari. So that when you read this, that's when you're supposed to start laughing. That's a cue. You're in the cast of Manjaris, Tulsi Manjari's there, and you're by excited. Nitya Parshva, Nityam Stitam, Nitya Stit Parshva Stitam. It says that the Manjari is always standing beside your Guru Manjari. Nitya Parshva Stitam. Parshva means side, and Nitya means always, and Stita means situated. So the Navadasi Manjari is always by the side of her Guru Sakhi. This is in Rarasuniti. So all the Manjaris are laughing at Radharani beating up Krishna with lotus. So the giggling of the Manjaris indicates that Krishna has failed. And Radharani is not satisfied with his seva. So when Radharani beats him with a flower, it brings him back to his senses. And he goes a little senseless. So now the question is asked, why do the Manjaris giggle? Do you know how to giggle? You have to learn how to giggle, you know, it's required. This is what you learn when you go to Manjari school, you know. No, when you go to the spiritual world, you have to learn different things. You can see in Stavavali, there's a prayer where he prays to learn different things. He said, Radharani, when will I come to you and you'll teach me how to tell riddles? It's called Praheli. You'll teach me how to play Veena. You'll teach me how to write drama. You'll teach me Sangeet, how to sing. And then he goes to Vishaka. He says, Vishaka, you're a Narma Pandit. You're a great teacher of joking. Well, Vishaka, you teach me how to joke. But when I get there, when I go to school, when I show up before Vishaka, she said, why you came here? I came here to learn joking. You already learned joking. You learned joking as a sadhguru. So you don't have to, no, but I want to learn from you, from the source. So Das Goswami is praying there, well, I learned these different things. So one of the things that the Manjaris have to learn have to learn how to giggle. And this is going to be very hard for Russian sadhakas. Because Russian ladies don't know how to laugh, and giggle is a very special form of laughing. They don't even know standard laughing, what to speak of giggling. So they'll have to stay at school a long time and come to summer school, Manjari summer school, learn giggling. So the question remains, and I haven't heard any answers, why do the Manjaris giggle? Anybody want to posit an answer? Here's a sober Brahmin. You don't do it. How meaningful is this giggling It's indicated by the words in this verse, Guda Hasya. The word Guda means Guda, it's like Gufa, means secret, hidden, deep, concealed. And Hasya means laughing, secret laughing. The Kinkaris are the embodiments of Seva Radharani. They don't display any other activity but Radha Seva. A sadhaka will become qualified to serve Rasamaya Sham and Rasamaya Swamini by following in the footsteps of the gopis. Yestani Jai Lila Kori Jugala Kishore Sakir Sangini Hoya Tai Hao Bor Prarthana Narottam Das Thakur. We should be absorbed in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna and live in Vrindavan as an associate of the Sakhis. This is an order for bhajan and prarthana. So the Manjaris giggle to make the lila blissful. It's like sound effects, you know. Like you watch a movie with no soundtrack, what fun is that? How popular these days are silent movies? Silent movies aren't too popular these days. So the same thing, imagine Kunjalila without the giggling. So boring. You know? So Krishna, why are you giggling? He gives some dirty looks, and Krishna, why he looks embarrassed and gives a dirty look to the Manjaris, and they go. And Radharani looks at him, giggle more, giggle more. Just like, for example, this is a little bit of Aishwarya Tattva mixed in. There's a famous personality, Duryodhana. He went to visit the Pandavas in Indraprastha, which is like Meerut or something like that. And the Indraprastha palace of the Pandavas was designed by Mayadanava. Mayadanava is a tantric architect. You should have hired him, Bhagavati, to make your palace. Anyway, he made a palace so water looked like land and land looked like water. So Duryodhana is a standard puffed up Kshatriya fighter, and a good fighter also. And a very ferocious fighter, Duryodhana. So he came to visit the Pandavas in their palace. So he saw, what he saw was a pool of water inside the palace. So he picked up his dhoti. Because he didn't want to get his fancy so dhoti wet, you know. And he went tiptoeing through what he thought was water like a Russian ballet dancer. Poor Russia, they really get bashed, you know. Before these guys came on the boat, I didn't pick on Russians. Now I pick on Russians. I just picked on Punjabis before, you know. My repertoire is expanding. So he picked up his dhoti, and all the queens were visiting from Dwarka. They were visiting the Pandavas. Krishna came from Dwarka, and everybody, it was a big party. Everybody was meeting together, Draupadi and Rukmini and everybody. And so they started laughing like anything. And Bhima and Yudhishthira looked at the queens, stop laughing, stop laughing. He's my cousin brother, don't laugh. And Krishna said, laugh, laugh. Krishna raised his head, laugh. So they laughed, because Krishna's Bhagavan. Krishna told me you should laugh. So they laughed twice as much. And Duryodhana was burning with anger. He was so much angry. You laughed at me. So this reminds me that Radharani is encouraging the Manjaris to giggle more and make more fun of Krishna. As she's beating with her, Krishna's getting beaten with Radharani's lotus lila kama, and the Manjaris, great. So it's a very amusing scene. That's why it's called Guda Hasya. In Rasa Vichar, we have our Mukhya Rasas, we have our Gona Rasas. There's 7 Gona Rasas, secondary emotional moods which enhance the primary mood. So the primary mood going on here is amorous love, erotic loving dealings between Krishna and gopis. But when you're having erotic loving dealings, a good laugh here and there also part of the arrows, you know. It's not just whatever goes on. put a good laugh and a good joke here and there. It increases the ras, increases the flavor. Like you make sweet rice, you put in rice and milk and sugar. Oh, boring. But you put in some camphor, and you put in some date gore instead of regular sugar. Date gore, and then you get something exciting. If you're really fancy, you go to Manipur and get Manipur purple rice. Have you ever had it? Your life is 50% wasted. You have Manipur purple, it's purple color, and when you cook the rice boil, it smells like flowers. Another 10 years, 10 Karttikas, I lived in Manipur, Gopal Mandir. I'd be in my room, up on the rooftop, I smell his flowers coming from the kitchen. What is this? I come down, like a bumblebee, like coming down. What's cooking in the kitchen? It smells like flowers. I said, this is purple rice. We just somebody came from Manipur, but that's what we're making. I said, sweet rice. Okay. They offered a Gopal, And then we had the Maharaj, everybody had the But it's fantastic. It smells like flowers. Purple colored rice. How we got there, I don't know. No, we're talking about Hatsi Ras, in case you got lost. We're talking about secondary rases nourish the primary ras. So it says Guda Hasya. So this giggling, Guda means they're not outwardly directly laughing in front of Krishna, because he won't like that. He's male, has his male ego, feel insulted. These little girls, wait. So they have to do it secretly. It's called Guda Hasya, because Hasya Ras is one of the Gona Rasas, 7 secondary Rasas, which increases the flavor. So the question I asked, which nobody gave me the answer, why the gopis giggle? One reason is because they want to nourish the ras. Everything is for rasa pushan, called poshan, nourishing the ras. That's why all extra gopis are needed, extra manjaris, to nourish the flavor of loving sentiments and experience of Radha Krishna. So Hasya Ras is laughing, so the manjaris are giggling, and ultimately Krishna starts laughing and Radharani starts laughing too. Because one firecracker ignites another firecracker. There's one kind of firecracker, you light it, it goes boom, then it goes boom, 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 boom. You know those kind of firecrackers? It's like 50 in one, You light one, you get 50 going. So Radharani gets indication with her eyes, the manjaris who giggle. They don't even need an indication, they just start. The little girls are always giggling. How? They're 12 years old. You remember we were 12, 500 years ago? 500 years ago you were 12, you were giggling, having a good time. Now you got adulthood. They're so dry and no laughing. So they increase the ras, which means the happiness and bliss and love of Radha Krishna. So that's why they giggle. To churn the ocean of ras by contributing a gona ras called Hasya Ras, which is a particular type called Guda Hasya, hidden laughing, secret laughing, giggling. Now this point is Radha's beating is bliss. It's blissful. How is Radha's beating? Beating means like this, being bliss. Krishna has made a mistake in his play. So when you make a mistake in the classroom, sometimes the teacher smacks you. So for making that mistake, Radha beats him. Not with an iron rod, because that was Dwapara Yuga, this is Kali Yuga. Dwapara Yuga used lotus flowers, the Kali Yuga used iron. So Rasamaya Krishna cannot even measure the value of this rasic beating. So remember, next time I beat you, it's not beating, no, it's rasic, it's a rasic beating. Rasa. Yeah, rasa. how much pleasure Radharani's beating is giving Krishna. That's why I say no one can understand the spiritual world. And the Sundaras Jiva Goswami says it's a chintya, it's adbhut, it's amazing, it's inconceivable. How is getting beating blissful? Depends on who's doing the beating. Remember the questions I told you. Who, what, when, where. Who's beating Radharani? Why? Because Krishna's nonsense. And what's she beating with? A lotus flower. Oh, heavy beating. So why? Why? Because he's nonsense, deserves it. That's always understood. How is she doing it? With ras. She's beating a rasic beating. Not just ordinary beating, rasic beating. So remember, next time you beat on your girlfriend, beat her with ras. Remember, this is full of ras. When Veralika beats her husband, she says, Krishna, I'm beating you with ras. Ow, no, it's ras. Experience the ras. Adi chapter 4, verse 26. Priya yadi mana kori. Priya yadi man kori Bhartsana. Bhartsana means Veda stuti hoiti Hari se Maraman. Krishna, Hari's mind, Maraman, gets stolen by the beating and chastisements of the gopis more than the recitation of Sanskrit Veda stuti. Stuti means prayers. When my beloved Radharani is angry and chastises me, that steals my mind away from the Vedas. And that field of love, who can measure the ecstasy of this rasic chastisement? Radharani makes Krishna drink the honey beverage of Shamras. Radharani always fulfills all Krishna's desires. No one else other than Radharani is so expert at making Govinda relish the honey of Shamras or Shringaras. Shyam Sundar cannot imagine how Akandara Sivalava Varshabhanavi Radha. This is the title, this is the name for Radharani. Akandara Sivalava Varshabhanavi. The daughter of Vrishabhana Maharaj, who is the beloved of Krishna and full of unbroken, unlimited ras. Akandara Sivalava Varshabhanavi. Wow. Add that to your next bhajan. Kanamano Moyani Radhe Radhe. Akandara Sivalava Varshabhanavi Radhe Radhe. Akandara Sivalava Varshabhanavi. That's a really long one. So that's Radharani's beating is bliss. So one more point of this purport of verse 78. How to become fixed in Manjari Bhav. Das Goswami is having experience of Radha Krishna's Leelas one after another. But when he doesn't see those pastimes, he laments and prays. Baladev Vidyabhushan comments that such an experience of seeing Leelas and being part of Leela, and then losing that vision and falling out from that association and losing contact with that, brings the highest goal of life to a devotee. When one is worshiping the all-sweet, all ecstatic, all-loving, all-beautiful Krishna, when that worship becomes established in the heart, one will experience great bliss and become blessed, become fortunate. This is a great truth experienced and preached by the loving devotees. When by Krishna's mercy a devotee advances in bhakti, one's desires for personal happiness gradually reduce, and one will consider at that time of spiritual advancement that happiness, distress, good, bad, heaven, hell, liberation are useless. Desire for liberation, desire to go back home, back to God, and all that kind of stuff is cheating. Bhakti Devi will not be established within the heart. Bhakti Devi will be established in the heart when Bhakti Ras, when the heart becomes filled with Bhakti Ras, and one yearns for Rag Mai Seva or Radharani. The right mood will appear in the heart when one becomes fixed in Braja Bhajan. The whole picture of the material world will disappear from one's eyes, and one will start to perceive the sweet, beautiful kingdom of Braj. Sometimes it's asked the question, what does this mean, a Prakriti Lila and Prakat Lila? A Prakat means Prakash, means manifest, visible, tangible. Aprakat means invisible, intangible, not perceivable. Because some people explain that when you're meditating, you're here in this Braj, Krishna's not here, you can't see him, where has he gone? So some people say, he left here 5,000 years ago, he went back to Goloka Vrindavan. Even some commentaries explain like that. But our Gaudiya Vaishnavas say, he's not left anywhere. Krishna doesn't when one is advanced in bhakti, living in Braj, when he meditates, that what is invisible becomes visible. It's like you look inside the hat of the magician, you don't see a rabbit. Look inside the top hat of the magician, you see a rabbit, you say no. He pulls out a rabbit, now you see a rabbit. So we don't see Krishna, we don't see Krishna, but if Krishna wants to show it, he can show it. There's a verse in Gita that says, I am manifest. No, another verse. About, I can't remember. In other words, Krishna just manifests himself. He doesn't come from anywhere. He's already here. Huh? No. Anyway, I can't think of the verse now. So the real point, the real truth is that Krishna's Leela is always going on here. And all the great Padakartas and poets and acharyas have commented that way. And that's the experience. The vast stories, they sit in this Braj. That's why they want to do bhajan and Braj, because it's happening. It's happening right. Radha and Leela is going on 5 hours a day right here on the banks of Radha and Shamakant. So we come here hoping that this curtain of Abrakat will be lifted and we'll see the Prakat Leela. But we will in time. It's like my Guru Dev used to say, the fruit becomes ripe in its own time. The fruit on the mango tree becomes ripe in its own time. You can't just say it comes green mango, it's only good for chutney. That's also good. But you wait, and it gets red and yellow, then it falls and it's ready to go. So you stay here on the tree of Braj, and Brindatavivan. Brindatavivan means the forest of Braj. We stay here doing bhajan, and eventually our fruit will become ripe, and we'll have darshan on these leelas. So we're discussing how to become fixed in Manjari Bhav. So we have to follow the footsteps of Das Goswami. He stayed in Radha and he meditated on Lila. Sometimes he saw Lila and sometimes he didn't. When he saw Lila, he was very happy. When he didn't, he was crying in separation. So mostly we're crying in separation. We're doing more crying in separation and less laughing in union. But we also have our experiences of getting glimpses of seeing Lila also. Everyone will. Everyone does who lives here. So this is what he's teaching. You get great joy by experiencing pastimes, and you get great lamentation and happy by losing that vision, losing that experience. This is what it means Braj Bhajan. This is what it means to be fixed in Manjari Bhajan. The whole material world will vanish from the eyes. And then one will see the beautiful, luscious, sweet, all beautiful, sweet forms of Radha and Madhav, their qualities and pastimes. And we'll experience Radha and Krishna both in meeting and separation, Milan and Vira and Sambhog. This is the highest fulfillment of the sadhaka. Lord Gauranga preached this kind of worship to the world, and his dearmost associates, Rupa and Raghunath, have shown the way by showing a perfect example. It is most beneficial for sadhakas to hear and chant the teachings of Rupa and Raghunath. Their way of worship, their way of love. There's no other way, there's no other way, there's no other way. We say Harinam, Harinam, Harinam. There's no other way but Harinam to become fixed in bhakti. There's no other way but Lila Smaran and following Rupa and Raghunath to attain Radha's eternal service in Braj Mandal. So that's it. What time is it? 3:37. I haven't prepared any more class. I just prepared this after lunch. But I'll just say some comments. I've been going back and forth a little bit, trying to get the straight truth, but finally I got connected to the facts of the matter by the Babaji Pandits of Radhakund. The final word at this time, which I think will hold true, there is eclipse in Radhakund tomorrow, unlike what I said yesterday. There's an eclipse and it starts at 8:11 in the morning. It goes till 6:15 in the evening, which means from 8 o'clock until 6:15, no deity worship, no Giraj Puja, all that. And it's best to stay in your kutir. The actual eclipse is very short, and it's hardly visible here. But the eclipse is from 5:15 to 6:18, 1 hour. So definitely, you may have to run around here and there. That's okay. But at least from 5 o'clock till 6:30, you should stay at one place, inside. Why? Because different creatures, the poison of creatures increases during eclipse. Dogs and monkeys, they carry tetanus and other poison, mother-speaking cobras, scorpions and cobras. During eclipse, their poison increases manifold, and if you get bitten, it can be very painful, even be death-producing. So 5 to 6:30, stay in your kutir, chant Hare Krishna mantra, or Gopal mantra, Gangajri, etc. And no puja after 8:15 in the morning. So you get up early, do your puja, and put your deities to rest, cover them with some tulsi leaves or kusa grass. And then after 6:20 in the evening time, take another bath, wear clean clothes, wake up your deities, do puja, offer them something to eat, then you eat, then take rest. That's the theme. So there's no class tomorrow, and there's no Hari Kirtan tomorrow, and this is the last class. So, any questions? Because I have some time left. We'll take some questions. not from you because you're down the street. People that come from other country or some other place have a question, you ask a question. Question? Everybody's in agreement of the whole presentation. Prabhupada once said there's some phrase in Bengali, silence means agreement. So you say, should we throw this person out? And everyone's silent, that means we should throw him out. Everybody says, no, he's nice, let us stay. Okay, let us stay. We should throw this guy out. Okay. Silence means everyone's in agreement. Sham, you're a thinker? No question. Okay. You got 1,000 questions, it's okay. Sir, you have a question? Nimai Nitai. Babaji Maharaj. You have a question? Yes, at least you should fast from 5 to 6:30. Yeah, but technically they say from the start of the Sutak period, which is 8 o'clock, you shouldn't have food. But you have water also. Water you can have, because water doesn't go too bad. But food can turn poison in your body. What's it? Solar eclipse. It's same consideration, yes. It's a negative time. See the psychology behind the eclipse. I'll tell you what it is. Suryadev and Chandradev are important gods. I think everyone can understand that. The moon planet is the closest planet to the Earth and influences people's minds the most. So the moon is influencing our mind and the sun influences our body. So that's what we are, mind and body. So we have to get sufficient moonshine and sufficient sunshine to be healthy. And we have to have good stars, good moon and good sun on our chart to be healthy, mentally healthy and physically healthy. So he's a Vaishnava. Suryadev is a Vaishnava, Chandradev is a Brahmin, and Surya is a Kshatriya, Chandra is a Brahmin, and they're both Vishnu Bhaktas. In Surya and Sun Planet, there's a four-armed form of Krishna called Surya Narayan. He lives on the Sun Planet. And Suryadev lives there with his 2 wives, Samgya and Chaya. He has many wives, but those are 2 primary wives. And the daughter of Suryadev and his wife Samgya is Yamuna Devi, Yamuna and Yamaraj, Yama and Yami. And the son of Suryadev and Chaya Devi, his other wife, is Shani. So Surya and Shani are very good friends. Shani and Surya. So what happens is when there's an eclipse, a solar eclipse or lunar eclipse, Rahu, who's a Rakshasa, Asur, he attacks them, he swallows them. He has a big mouth. Like some people have big mouths, you know. If anyone has a big mouth, give him a nickname Rahu. Some people are called Rahul, you know. When I hear that name, I always think of, he must be like Rahu, you know. Big mouth. So he's getting attacked. You know, if a devotee gets attacked, what are the devotees supposed to do? When there's 3 gates leading to hell in Gita. Kam, Krodha, Lobha. 3 gates, Sri Vidam Narakasya Idam. Three gates leading to hell. Lust, anger, greed. You ever heard about that? Lust, anger, greed. So these are the three gates leading to hell. I just say that. Huh? Yeah. So so what I said is, we have anger. So what is the Krishna conscious use of anger? The example we give in the Shastra is Hanuman and Arjuna. They use their anger against the demons. So if someone attacks a devotee or someone attacks Bhagavan, we become very angry and fired up and beat that person, right? Like once I was on Sankirtan, I'll tell you a story. And we were selling books on the street in San Francisco, and some big gorilla came. Not for the zoo, but human gorilla. And he started attacking one devotee. He was 10 times bigger than me. But I remember the Shastra, if somebody attacks a devotee, you have to support. So I jumped on the guy I was like a flea on this guy's back, you know. I jumped on the back, I was hitting him. And then somebody jumped on my back. And then another devotee jumped on my back. There was about 3 or 4 devotees on this gorilla. We were just holding on like ticks or like fleas or ticks. Holding on. And all of a sudden, I felt somebody grab my shoulders and pick me up and threw me off. I said, oh God, it must be a bigger gorilla. You know, so the guy threw me up. He picked out the other devotee. Threw out the other devotee. He threw out the devotees like little flies. And we went flying. And then he picked up the guy and went, whoa. This guy was a bigger gorilla. He was a devotee gorilla. A devotee gorilla. He beat the crap out of that guy. So that's the proper use of anger. So now Surya is getting beaten up by Rahu. He's getting attacked by Rahu. So all the devotees get angry at Rahu. That's what I'm trying to explain. Our devotee brother, Surya, our devotee brother, Chandra is getting beat up. So how can we help them? We can help them by praying, by controlling our senses, by fixing our mind on Surya, fixing our mind and our intention, our good vibration, our good thoughts. We direct them to Surya or to Chandra. Tomorrow we direct them to Chandra. You know, we're cheering. Like if you go to a fight, there's a boxing match. Get him, hit him. You cheer for your favorite party, you know. You know, Croatia versus Serbia, you know. Okay, we have those Serbia guys. Let me up. So we're rooting. Basically, it's like this. We're rooting for Chandra Day tomorrow. So we take a sankalpa. The Vaishnavas take a sankalpa. All the top of Balaam I'm getting. All the mantras I'm chanting. Where are we? 1 minute. You're on time. We'll give you one more minute. One more minute. So all the devotees are cheering for Chandra Day. Everything's very personal, and I'm just giving you like a little comic explanation, but this is all in Shastra. Now we're taking a sankalpa, we're taking a vow and affirmation. Krishna, transfer all my punya, all my tapabhalam, all the strength and power I get by fasting, not eating, not drinking. We're not drinking water and not eating. So we're fasting for health or purification, all this stuff. We're fasting, trying to get power and get blessings, and rooting for Chandra Day and for Surya Day that they're victorious and come out of this problem. It's a very devotional outlook, a very personal outlook, because everything is personal in the universe. Because the highest consciousness is Krishna consciousness, and he's a person. So Surya Day is a great person, Chandra Day is a great person. So we have to view reality from a personal conception. We have to live in a personal conception. It's not the sun planet, it's not a planet, it's not a moon planet, it's a person. He's in trouble, he needs our help. Simple, basic. Somebody's in trouble, they help. So if you have a heart, you'll help that person. So we have a heart, so we're helping that person. So you understand something more about eclipse now? It's not some Hindu ritual or some Hindu hocus pocus. It's a real thing that's going on, and he's really in trouble. And so then, when you fast like that, you have all those good feelings for him, all those good intentions. He remembers that. He remembers that you did good to me. You helped me. You helped me when I was down. I'll help you when you're down. We get sick sometimes. We pray for sunshine to bring us up, make us feel better. Our conception is the highest conception of spirituality, the highest conception of psychology, and the highest conception of philosophy. We should understand the synthesis of these three principles: philosophy, psychology, and dharma. This is bhakti in its highest expression. Highest expression of bhakti is love. Love for Bhagavan and everyone in Bhagavan's creation. So Grahan, Surya Grahan, Chandra Grahan is a time to express bhakti, a time to express love for Chandradev and Suryadev. Jai Jai Sri Radhe, Jai Jai Sri Radhe, Jai Jai Sri Radhe Sham. Kartik Vyam Seva Mas Ki Jai, Kartik 2022 Ki Jai, Shamakun Ki Jai, Radhakun Ki Jai, Gurudang Ki Jai, Sabhaktagang Ki Jai, Sabhurgang Ki Jai, Sabharivar Ki Jai, Jai Jai Sri Radhe.